I remember the first time I experienced jealousy and actually allowed myself to gain some benefit from it, something of value. And it was many years ago. I was attending this kind of conference or gathering that someone I knew had put together as a result of following their dream. Yeah, okay. And I remember sitting there and thinking, what is the point of this whole thing? What's the message and what's the reason for gathering all these people if you don't even have any clear message to share? And that quickly led to a feeling of guilt and resentment and shame in me, as jealousy often does to us. And I asked myself, when I noticed those feelings, I asked myself, why am I so harsh and quick to judge someone I know who's just following their desire and daring to put themselves out there to the world? And that's when I remembered, this is me being jealous, because here I was with this clear message inside of me, ready to share with the world, and I was doing nothing about it. And from that day, I have learned to see jealousy as a very important signal from myself to myself, letting me know about my suppressed desires. And quite shortly after that experience, I was lucky enough to hear such a helpful, new and fresh perspective on jealousy that completely changed my mindset about it and allowed me to use that jealousy to my advantage instead of just giving me feelings of guilt and shame. Because comparing yourself to others, victimizing yourself and feeling bad and unfairly treated about what they have and you don't, will never do anything for you other than to keep you feeling lousy and not at all putting you in the best position to get there yourself. But with this whole new mindset, you can let your jealousy guide you towards achieving those things that you want in your life. I want everyone to be in on that, but I also know that your mind needs to believe and experience some aha moments for itself before it starts reprogramming anything. So let's set you up to receive this mindset by first having a quick chat about why your ego makes you jealous in the first place. Now, jealousy and envy is actually one of the most used tools by your ego, but it doesn't use it to make you feel bad and guilty or ashamed. Your ego is doing what it thinks is best for you, and your ego's main job is to protect you and keep you safe. And it does that by also keeping your identity intact, your identity as your ego knows it. And today, most of our identities are tied up to what we have. External factors such as success, status, relationship, beauty, goal achievements, all of that. And that is the reason why your ego makes you compare what you have in those areas to other people, making you feel jealous when they have what you don't. Now, the problem with this ego's way of keeping you safe by protecting your identity is that we no longer need that protection, but we used to. The problem is your ego is operating from that ancient survival programming that it needed to from the beginning of time. So back in the day, we all belonged to some sort of tribe. And being left out from that tribe could mean literal death. So your ego uses jealousy from that programming to kind of alert you that, hey, you're falling behind, you need to get back in. Because back in those days, when we belonged to a tribe, what we wanted was actually what we needed. It was tied up to survival necessities, like food, for instance. There wasn't an abundance of food, so all of the food had to be shared brotherly in that tribe. And if you fell out or if you were left behind from that tribe, you didn't get your piece of the cake. And that is why your ego thinks the way it does today. That is why it believes that if someone else is having what you want, it means that you cannot have it because there is not enough to go around for everyone. But luckily, the times have changed, and what we want today are no longer based on survival necessities. We want things like love and freedom and following our dreams and achieving our goals. And those things are not limited. And because of the times having changed, that means that this jealousy strategy of the ego is no longer keeping us safe. It's just shrinking us. Because this comparison to others and what they have and us not belonging to the same tribe of having what they're having keeps us in this constant comparison spiral, making us feel less than everyone else. My cat is making a lot of noise. I'm sorry, maybe she's jealous of the attention my camera is getting right now. So once again, the ego tries to be an amigo, but it just misunderstands how to be our amigo because it is stuck in old programming and not updated to today's society. So then the question is, how do we provide our ego this update it needs to work with us instead of against us? And I think it all starts with reminding the ego that what we want today is not limited. The world today is filled with examples, numerous examples of people following their dreams and goals and making it work. So there's an abundance of that, and that does not mean that we cannot have the same as it used to back in the day. Today it's actually quite the opposite. There are more people following their dreams, achieving their goals, is making it easier for us to do the same. It's like this whole resource bank that we can use and learn from. So what keeps us away from opportunity today is not scarcity. It's either the fact that we don't grasp the opportunities when they are there, or we don't even notice those opportunities because our ego is keeping us stuck in old mind programming, focusing on lack instead of what we want. So, here is the way better way to go about it. The next time you experience any kind of jealousy towards what other people are having, remind yourself, give your ego that update by choosing to see those people having what you want as actual proof that it's possible to get it. So instead of believing them having it means that you can't, do the exact opposite. Them having it is proof that so can you. And that little but oh so powerful mind update will do two very important things for you. First of all, it will make you feel way better in the first place, which is a win in itself, and it makes you focus on your desire instead of the lack of it, which is the first step of getting there, right? And the second thing is, it will actually start to reprogram your mind to take entirely new pathways that will lead you to opportunities. And the reason for that is that your mind works in a very specific way. Every time you think about something in a certain way, you are programming your mind to keep going down that same pathway, only noticing things in your environment that is aligned with what you are already thinking and believing. And therefore, only things according to that is what you can notice in your surroundings, because you can only get more of what you are already focusing on. So, by giving it this whole new and fresh perspective on jealousy and how to use it to your advantage, you will reprogram your mind to take these entirely new pathways, looking for possibilities and opportunities in your surroundings, making you notice them so that you can actually be able to grab them when they are there. It's like looking at the world through binoculars. So you can only see what your lens is focused on, and your thoughts decide what it's focused on. And that means you can see exactly and only that. So there could be a whole other thing happening to your sides or further up, but you will have no clue about that until you change the focus of your binoculars. Let's do an example. Say that you're feeling envious or jealous of someone else's success, and you're victimizing yourself, thinking how unfair it is that they have it, and especially that it seems so easy for them to get it. And here you are, working so hard and getting nowhere. That mindset will be like pointing your binoculars to your ground, to your feet, only seeing every step you take uphill, getting tired, and seemingly getting nowhere. But with this new perspective on jealousy, you can allow yourself to think about someone else's success. Oh, this person makes success look so easy. Maybe it's actually easier than I've been thinking. How great it is to see someone experiencing the success that I want for myself one day. And I love knowing that this is possible. Now that mindset will be like lifting your binoculars from the ground and instead noticing your end goal, your destination, where you want to go. And that change of focus, just seeing that goal in front of you instead of seeing all of your hard work, will make it so much easier and lighter to get there. So providing your mind this new perspective will be like lifting your binoculars. So you will go from only seeing your hard work and looking down in the dumps and not actually noticing any possibilities around you, to lift your gaze and see opportunities, see possibilities, see examples of it being possible. So, after I was lucky enough to hear that advice, I decided to put it into an exact recipe that I would use whenever I noticed feelings of jealousy popping up in me, making me feel bad. I put it into 3 steps. So number 1, thanking my mind my ego, for letting me get clarity in what it is I actually want for myself. Because that is what jealousy will do for you when you decide to listen to what it's actually telling you. It's giving you very important signals and clues about your own maybe suppressed desires. And that is the first step towards getting any desire, is by being clear about what it is. And then number 2 is thanking my surroundings for showing me proof and examples of that which I want being possible to achieve. And number 3, I like to give thanks to it being so close to me, to it being in my proximity, because it's showing up in all of these different ways in my everyday life, letting me get inspired from them and learn from them. And that exact recipe and mindset change is what finally allowed me to take my first steps towards providing or sharing my own message that was ready for the world. And I allowed myself to get so inspired from seeing all of these people going for their dream and making it work that I couldn't do anything other than do that myself. And that is also when I realized that nothing is actually holding me back from using this space of opportunity other than my previous negative thoughts and beliefs and feelings. But there is really no way I can actually make you feel what I felt and make you see just how much that was the beginning of a whole life to be changed for me. You have to experience it yourself. So, why don't you start? Take your first step towards that. Claim your opportunity space by sharing with us, what are you grateful of seeing examples of your desire being possible to achieve? How is your everyday life filled with all of these proofs and examples of people doing or experiencing exactly what you want to experience? Now, just by writing that down, you have already started to reprogram your mind into using your previous jealousy to actually get closer to experiencing that for yourself.